देखते ही देखते हम फिनाले में पहुंच गए हैं. फिनाले ऑफ माँ की यादें. Something that started so organically. I think it was my way of dealing with this loss, because the word finale has a very different meaning after you experience something like this. जितना भी आप सोचें कि when it happens, it's reality of life, it's okay, they are peaceful, they are in a better place. लेकिन जो वो void होता है, and that when you actually come face to face with the truth, वो बिल्कुल easy नहीं होता है to handle. But this entire series, I think, was very, very, very helpful for me to be able to come out of that that feeling of nothingness. मुझे एक purpose मिल गया, मुझे कुछ create करने के लिए एक एक reason मिल गया. and मुझे लगा जैसे इस सीरीज़ के थ्रू मैं मम्मी को लिटरली कैप्चर कर रही हूँ, एंड आई एम कीपिंग हर अलाइव विद मी. आई हैव गॉन थ्रू सो मेनी पिक्चर्स इन द लास्ट 2 months that I just feel like she's here, and I think that has been my biggest gift through माँ की यादें. आपने मेरी फैमिली के बारे में बहुत सुना, आज मैं आपके सामने अपनी फैमिली लेकर आ रही हूँ. I thought it'll be nice. I don't know, these are ways in which we make ourselves feel happy. मुझे लग रहा है कि इस सीरीज़ के थ्रू mom can hear everything that I would have liked to say when she was around. So I'm hoping that she has heard me, and I'm also hoping कि जब पूरी family कुछ बोलेगी तो वो सुनेंगी, and it'll make her feel very happy. So over to my family. साथ साथ में देखिए ये कड़ा प्रसाद, ये लास्ट डिश थी मम्मी ने जो मुझे फिज़िकली बना के दी थी, because when she had started deteriorating health wise, I remember मैं उनको किचन में लेके गई थी. मैंने कहा और कुछ नहीं तो आप मुझे एक बार कड़ा प्रसाद एक बार दिखा दो, and she made it for me. and नानी का हलवा, दादी का हलवा, यही नाम देते हैं उसे इस घर में, because everybody loves it. and I think कड़ा प्रसाद तो होती है ऐसी डिश है that everyone loves, लेकिन again मम्मी के हाथ का कड़ा प्रसाद, उसमें बात ही कुछ और थी. इस रेसिपी को भी ध्यान से देखिएगा. मैंने डिस्क्रिप्शन में आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू अ फ्यू ऑफ मॉम्स टिप्स दैट यू मस्ट फॉलो टू हैव द बेस्ट कड़ा प्रसाद एवर. Over to my family.
Moms are special. They are the backbone, the very foundation of all families. And a mother is a tree that stands in the sun so that all her children can remain in the shade. Everyone's mom is the best mom in the world. So was mine. I often wonder where we would be had she not stood so strong for us. When life asked more of her than it should have, she never complained. She simply carried on with courage in her heart and love in her hands. She was both shelter and strength, the steady light that guided 3 young children through life's uncertain years. But I don't remember her only for her sacrifices. I remember her laughter, her smile, her love for people, especially her siblings, the joy she brought to every gathering, especially weddings, be it whether she was dancing or singing, her love for cards, Rummy, Paplu, Teen Patti Ada Diwali parties, the zest for holidays, the meals shared with friends, and the way she could make any occasion brighter simply by just being there. How can I forget her food, every taste and bite full of love? Then came the years when Parkinson's slowly took away so much. The words became fewer, the memories more distant. Yet somehow, every time I came home in the evening and met her, I would greet her with a loud, "Good evening, mummy." And she would look at me and smile. And in that smile, I knew she knew. No words were needed. It was her way of acknowledging that she knew I was there and she would be looked after, and I was trying to do the best I could. It used to make her day and also mine.
You ceremoniously welcomed me into your home and your heart 30 years ago. You made a simple college going girl into a woman. You taught me how to cook, to take care of a new home, a family, and more importantly, my husband. And I will be eternally grateful for that work. Your little tips I carry with me through this lifetime. You had the ability to win people over with your fun-loving nature, yet commanding personality. Your willingness to always have people home, organize a meal, sometimes step out for a meal, play a game of cards, or enjoy a drink. Your charm was endless, and you were the life of every get-together. You were the tree that has rooted the entire family, Mom, has rooted all of us, the children and the grandchildren.
Mom's name, Prakash, means light. Just to paint a background pretty quickly, Mom's journey began in the middle of India's partition in 1947. She was amongst 8 siblings in a very large, conservative Sikh family in Lahore. And in the middle of everything that the partition uprooted, my Nana, Lalaji, who we fondly called him Lalaji, had to move lock, stock and barrel and relocate all the way into Hazaribagh, Bihar, and had to rebuild everything from scratch. And I think I make that point because Mom's own journey of resilience possibly began watching her own dad build everything ground up all over again in spite of all the odds. From my own earliest memories, I recall of her with vivid images of her being strikingly beautiful, bold, radiant, and moving with effortless grace, not needing any ornaments. But from childhood, I also would imagine that Mum had a deep sense of spirituality that was instilled in her when she was growing up. In her teenage years, I believe she would read and recite the Guru Granth Sahib, and we saw her do that when we were growing up. And I think that sustained her through whatever was to follow in her life. She was a devoted woman beside my dad, standing firmly by him as he had his own meteoric rise in the Tata Group, Tata Steel. She was a friend in need for many friends that she had. She was an exemplary daughter, an exemplary daughter-in-law, and most sought after socially. And I think as a mom, she was a gift that kept on giving. And Dad and Mom both had a vision that we would stay independent as an independent family, self-reliant, and pursue the highest education, and eventually make meaningful contributions to the society and the world at large. And then, of course, tragedy struck. I remember very, 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 very clearly. It was the fateful night of November 9th, 1980.
and Dad was declared dead after being in the ICU for many days post an unsuccessful heart surgery, and he was just 38. Mom was just 32. My elder brother Rajesh was just 14. I was just 10, and our little Amrita was just 4. So very, very tragic. Our world was ripped through and fallen apart. And look at Mom, and Mom was struck by fate with a force that that the toughest can't stand up to. Her fate was so strong. She just went on to apply and secure a position for herself in the healthcare division of Tata Steel, and we had to all move to Dhanbad in Bihar. I mean, this was the early 80s, the wild west days in Bihar, but she stood her ground in a man's world with 3 children to raise, and a grief that she could never really fully reconcile with. In those years, growing up, for me personally, from the age of 10 to the age of 16, I really watched her grieve the man she had loved so completely, and at the same time watched her evolve slowly and surely with extraordinary courage. She found her bearings, she forged her confidence, and blossomed like a lotus. I mean, what I received in return was irreplaceable. It was life's best lessons and an unconditional love from her that became the bedrock of my life, and went on to build a stellar career in Tata Steel. Her work won accolades and appreciation from across the ranks in all of the Tata Group, and Dad had built a legacy, and I think Mom really carried that forward and kept the flag flying high, so to speak. Fast forward, after 15 years with the Tatas, we convinced her to take early retirement and brought her into Mumbai to live with us. I had the privilege of really, both me and my wife, Tamanna, had the privilege of having her live with us. And, during her very active years, we had both our kids, Shaurya and Ranbir, and Mom seemed to have reclaimed her joy. She was vivacious, the life of every room. She was legendary in the kitchen. I really watched her, and that was the honor, my honor that I had of watching her evolve, from a young widow who had once stood all by herself to growing into this confident, radiant, and independent woman who landed firmly on both her 2 feet and now was enjoying the fruits of all her labor and all the sacrifices that she had made for us. She lived her name completely. She made us, each one of us. The road ahead is still long, but I know that the light, her light, Prakash, her named, her light will forever be our guiding path. Thank you, Mom.
I'd always heard that elders are a driving force and the binding force of the family. They keep the family together. She was one of the greatest support I ever could have imagined with my raising family, with my husband, with my children. She was just there. She was more than a friend to me. We also bonded a lot on food habits. Like, she and I loved hot and spicy food. So she was very happy when I asked for a hari mirchi, and she was like, oh my God, I love it too. And that's when I was very new, but that went for a long time. We just loved each other on that note, a little extra love. Secondly, I see Mom as a high-spirited, full of life. She would just balance her life between her family and friends. She loved her outing. She loved music, dancing, her wines. But at the same time, whenever the family needed her, the children, the grandchildren, her own children, the daughter-in-laws, she never said a no. She would just get up at every point of time. She was just there. Odd hours, kids would ask her to make something. She never said a no. That was a way of love. I don't think I can do that, but I would also tell her, but she showed so much of love that she was just there for them. That was incredible. It's very rare to see that side of some people. I would say that it's not that she had a perfect life, but I'd always seen her picking herself up from where she is and starting a new day with, she would just start cooking or just go for her cards because she knew that she had to hold herself. And today I'm not in my 20s, I'm in my late 40s, but I had learned that from her. I would tell my mother that the positive side I see that she gets in my life is that was one of the main things we as women I learned, that pick yourself up and start again. And that's what she would do. We'll always miss mom will be missed. Kids love her, we love her, and I hope she's in a beautiful place and a healthy, and she's just happy.
This is the first time I agreed to do Amrita's video because I'm very conscious and I cannot come on this. But this I'm doing plainly to honor my friend Prakash Sadunja. What an honor it was to know her, a woman of substance, truly an admirable, beautiful lady. The way she brought up her kids, the principles she had, the honesty she had, and the hard work. She always checked me. You're not looking nice? Why haven't you put lipstick? Why aren't you wearing earrings? Because she was immaculately turned out. Not a hair out of place. I tell you, I don't know what else to say for her. She's really a woman of substance, honor, respect, how she loved us. Really miss her. And I really will. I feel privileged to have known her. Really, I feel privileged. I love you, Prakash. I respect you and I honor you.
I think no human has ever come into my life and transformed it to such a beautiful manner. Mom, Amrita's mom, who then became my mom, was a visionary. She saw and she believed that Amrita and I would make a beautiful couple. And how right was she? She brought in the greatest gift into my life, my wife. And it was only her vision. And then she became my mom, and means the lessons I've learned, like the values. She was like the true Jhansi Rani. Became a widow at such a young age, 3 children, fought her way through, worked her way through, put these 3 young kids through school, through college, and made such success. All 3 of them have made such success in them. How proud she would be of these 3 children. And that 60 to 80% of the credit goes to her for that. Then, after our marriage, the spirit she had, she came into the home and just there was laughter. When her health was fading and she could not walk. But this lady, forget wanting to walk, danced. She used to dance. She loved dancing. Even when she could not walk, she would dance. She had the beat, she had the rhythm. My God, Mom, you're always going to be remembered right in the heart forever. We will miss you.
It's very honorable what she accomplished, especially in that being a woman in India at the time that she was in her 30s and 40s, having to raise 3 different children single-handedly. That's a very, very difficult job, and clearly she has done it very well, because all 3 of those children have grown up to do amazing things for their families and the world after having to witness the death of her husband and my dada at a very young age. In regards to food, I promise I'm not being biased, but I've actually never tasted a better dal and tomato ke chutney. And I do eat that maybe once every 2 weeks. Here in Toronto, there's so many Indian restaurants, and inherently there might be a little bit of a bias, but I do trust my taste buds as well. And I actually don't think that I've tasted a better dal chawal and a tomato ke chutney than what Dadi used to make for us. So, as simple of a compliment that might sound, I think it's a little bit more, it's a bit deeper than that, because it just shows that how much love and care to attention she would put even in some of the mundane daily tasks like cooking. I am really going to miss that as well as miss her.
You were the foundation of our family. Your strength, the sacrifices you made, your unconditional love made you raise 3 of the most incredible children on this planet. And you gave them every opportunity you could for them to succeed. While life was far from easy for you, you ended up creating the best life for others. And the lives that they built, the families that they created, and the people that they became are a reflection of your values and your determination, your perseverance, your love. It was all from you. For the last many years, I saw you slowly lose your voice. And it would have been easy for someone to assume that we were losing our connection, but we never did, because I never needed words to understand you. Your love and your presence spoke louder than any voice ever could. A simple gesture, a smile, or simply just being around you was more than enough. We knew what you were feeling because we knew who you were, and you knew us. Your legacy is not measured by what you owned, but it's measured by the lives you shaped and built. Thank you for teaching us how to be kind, how to persevere through challenges and struggles, and most importantly, thank you for teaching us about family.
I think Nani is one of the bravest women I know, and now I've come to regret not meeting her more in the last couple of years. I think I purposefully tried to avoid those visits because after seeing the way her health was deteriorating, it was a bit too difficult for me. But I still remember one of my favorite memories right before this deterioration started was when we spent the day together, Mom, and she taught me teen patti and how to cook her trademark halwa. And although I've forgotten both of those things now, that memory will be instilled in my head forever. I think I am who I am, but I think a part of the reason I am who I am, is because of her and the values that she taught my mother, and the lessons that my mom learned from her, and the way she bravely traversed through life. And those values make me the person I am today. I wish I had more time with her to talk to her about my life, about my problems, and even though in the last few years she couldn't really speak back to me, I know that she wanted to, and I know that she wanted to. Even if the words didn't come out, I miss her so much.
She was the heart of our family, the one who held everything together, every gathering, every memory. every moment that mattered. Without her even having to say a word, you just felt safe. You know, the last stretch was hard. She lost her voice, her movement, her independence, things no one should have to lose. And watching that was painful in a way that's difficult to put into words. But she endured it all with a grace that we will never forget. But before she left, she gave this world something remarkable. She raised children who are truly something to be proud of. You know, my dad, Bade Papa, Bua, each one of them a reflection of her strength, her warmth, her values. And it didn't stop there. You know, they went on to build families of their own and fill them with the same love she poured into them. Shaw's, our cousins, myself, we are all, in every way, her. And we like to think that she is still with us, watching over the family she spent her whole life building, seeing where we're headed, the things we're working towards. She'd want us to get there, and knowing her, she'll make sure we do. Her legacy lives in all of us.